Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I'm your host, and my foot is wet. That's besides the point. Let's drive this podcast home. So, I'm getting out early today. Slipped on the ice. But I am going home early today because power went out at my work. Now, the good thing is my work is 2 towns away, technically, from my home. So my home should hopefully have power. Bad news is it's in the same state and county, so it's a chance that that's not the case. But, So, been having a rough time of it, but not really. So Christmas happened, so let's talk about that, because today has been a weird day. There weren't a lot of people at my work. I believe it's the 29th or 28th, one or the other, one of those two. It's a Monday, figure it out. So, I'm thinking, sorry. Oh yes, Christmas. So, Christmas was weird because Christmas was weird. Yep. And sorry, I need to. You ever try and start talking and you forget what you're saying, or like how to phrase it? Like you know what you're trying to say, but you don't know how to put it into words. And it kind of happens to me sometimes. But anyway, the main point is that I got to be driving home very slowly because it's crap weather. It has been raining since this morning, and it's like, well, it's 34 degrees outside. Fahrenheit, of course, for I am an American. I live in America. So, which means 2 degrees less would be freezing point, or 0 degrees Celsius. So it's not freezing or below freezing yet, but it was earlier. Either way, it's noon, so I guess I worked for about 6 hours, though basically only 5. There were a lot less of us. There were like, 5 of us there today? And there's normally there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 more people there usually. Maybe even 6. 7 even. I'm forgetting people. Jeez. I don't know why I'm using fake swears. But there's fallen, mostly destroyed wood on the road, as well as the road is covered in so much ice. It's horrible conditions out. Is that a basic one? I don't even. Whatever, I need to. Still trying to figure out how exactly my wipers work. But yeah, no. So yeah, Christmas. I got some scratch tickets, didn't win anything, sadly. And I learned that, so I got scratch tickets every year on my mother's side. Either it's from my mother, or I think last year it was from my uncle and his wife and whatever. Because I don't really ask for much anyway, usually. Because it's whatever, it's Christmas. I think the only reason I'm still treated roughly as a kid is because, for one, I am young, and for the most part, and I still do live with my mother and stuff. But I pay rent, and, I work and stuff. It's just, my brother is definitely still fitting the kid got some new PJs, some new clothes, some new socks, and some new undershirts, which is actually something I did ask for. Like, so the only reason you ask for socks is if you are putting holes in your socks, and I was, so I needed more. So I've been asking for them whenever somebody needs to get me presents. Just like, I need socks, you know. And then I got my mother a puzzle. I'm going like 30 and it's still freaking me out. I have all-wheel drive all the time. It's how you know it's terrible weather. But oh, I see. Wonder if that's why the power didn't come to my way no more. There's some treeage dangling on the power lines above the road. I just passed under it, when I started talking about it. But probably something else. But like, there've been a lot of fallen branches on the road when I was going to work this morning. I didn't record for any of that, obviously, but I have to drive slow, so it works out, right? Get more time in that way. I ain't got nowhere to be for the next 2.5 hours anyway. Well, for the rest of the day, actually, I have no plans. I usually try not to make plans when I have work. But, yeah, no, so it was a bit difficult, so I had to basically pick up a lot of slack. I mean, we all did, but, like, it's definitely a weird morning, because something went wrong, and we were, like, basically doing nothing for, like, a while, because, like, there's only so many people who could really work on it at once, or even watch it. So I watched it for a little bit, and then I sort of did, like, a side task, and whatever. Anyway, Christmas, right. So, I had Christmas Eve dinner with my mom's family, and then the day after, I was supposed to be at my dad's really early in the morning, which I didn't realize. So me and my mom and my brother all got up at around 7 because I saw a text from my dad, which is funny because my dad never texts. He's so old-fashioned, but he's great. More on that later, actually. Hopefully. But, yeah, no. So, we opened our presents from our mom really quickly. Because we had all woken up at that point. Well, I woke up my brother, I'm pretty sure. But, didn't really have a choice. Wanted to go to our dad's. And, I got a Lego from my mom. A $50 Xbox gift card or something. I got $100 from my grandparents, which is like, I think they really need to stop giving me and my brother that for Christmas, because they have to give it to our cousins as well, right? Because now they have 4 grandkids. That's $400 just for one day a year. Like, that's crazy. And my grandfather is always complaining because he had to retire a year or 2 ago. He's always complaining about how he's poor and he ain't got no money. If I'm being honest, I don't think he went into service either. I don't know if any of my family ended up going into service. Like the military. I know my grandfather, who's long passed away, He did, I think, or it was my great grandfather or something. I don't know. There's some kind of story on my dad's side of the family about that. Let's see if I can open my window and get rid of the fog. That helped a little bit. But I don't know what's up with this car, but like the windows are fogging up. Like the side ones and stuff, they're fogging up and they're not unfogging up. Even though my car is fairly warm on the inside. But I've got like the defogifier on, but it's only working on the front. I'm making the same mistake again. But of course, when it comes to accidentally speaking, I'm going to have the same mistake again. That shitty weather. But yeah, no. So we ended up driving up to my dad's. So he wanted us to be there around 8:30. Well, in the text he said. But then we ended up leaving around 8:30 because of all the stuff we had to do. So, but it was fun. We actually got there pretty good timing. They hadn't even started breakfast yet. And so this Christmas was at my dad's is getting bigger now, which is kind of nice. I kind of like it when it was small, but then we had like a bit more family members for our Christmas. But our grandmother passed away, and we haven't really done that since. So that's always an issue. But no, yeah. My dad's girlfriend's, my dad's future wife, second wife. Yeah, my dad's future, soon-to-be second wife, has 2 kids. I've mentioned this before, who are grown up, same as me and my brother. But they are, well, one of them has a boyfriend. The other one is married and gave birth earlier this year. So, I actually met the baby for around, like, on Thanksgiving. Or no, the day after Thanksgiving this year. So, that was interesting. And so she was there as well, and all 4 of the adults involved were there. I guess young adults, if you want to be accurate about it. So it was, including me and my brother. Let's see, there was 6 young adults, 2 adults, and then 1 baby. So like 9 people. Which, if I do the math, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 1 more than it used to be when my grandmother was around. But it's also mostly different people because well, my dad's girlfriend wouldn't have been there, but like my grandmother had 3 kids, and they're all still alive, and then so so my mother doesn't do it because they're divorced since forever ago, but it was what was it? I'm trying to figure out the words. But yeah, but no. So basically, my uncle again. So apparently, my uncles on both sides have Riz or whatever. So my uncle's married, and he has a kid as well. But he only has one, so that means I have a total of 3 cousins. But I hope my cousin on my dad's side has good memories of our grandmother. You know, like my grandfather and great grandfather died when I was young, so it's kind of hard to be a good judgment about that. And I saw him again recently, for Thanksgiving, actually. So, yeah, he is quite a bit older. I think he's in middle school, or maybe he's just starting high school. And to me, that's just so crazy, because he was always small. He pulled like a Goku, you know? Like, and he basically looks the exact same, but taller, which is like the crazy part. Like, he legitimately pulled like a Saiyan warrior race thing, where it's like he basically looks the exact same, but like he's taller and I guess lankier. Since I'd last seen him, because it has been a long time since I'd last seen him. I still remember he was. Well, I guess because he had started school at some point, but my goodness, he wasn't speaking half babyish, I want to say. I don't know how else to describe it. He had a specific voice he used, and like the way he spoke, it wasn't fully like intelligible or whatever. And his mind worked in mysterious ways, basically. So that was really something we had to deal with, basically. I'm assuming with his mom's family, or just his mom and his dad. I don't know. This year was a lot different from other years, I guess. I'm just thinking about it. Anyway, at my dad's, I got a flannel shirt and some like thermal socks, like you wear it under your clothes, like Under Armour, kind of what I want to call it, but it's not actually protective against anything other than heat. And I mean, I hope it fits me, but I also don't know if I'll ever have a need to wear it. I run hot, you know? Like, I'm not saying that my average body temperature is higher or anything like that. I don't know, but like, I heat up super easily, and either I'm just more aware of it than other people, or like, something else, but like, I tend to run hotter, faster than other people. It's one of the reasons I really don't care for summer, and I really like winter, because you can always get hotter, but getting colder is not as easy. somebody's property, so it's just in their yard. Okay, speed up a little bit. This is straightaway. It's right near town. But yeah, no. So the baby was there, and it was the first time my brother met the baby. So that was interesting. And then I guess everybody got flannel, so we all put on flannel for like a group picture. Not family yet. And one of the guys was only a boyfriend, but like seems promising. Probably, I don't know. I don't see those people often enough. But sorry for all the blank spots. I'm just honestly thinking. Taking a moment, I guess. But did I get anything else? Lots of food related items. That's mostly what I asked for. Asked her for some Pop-Tarts, and she sent me them in the mail, which is kind of funny. I forget, does high school go on vacation for the week after Christmas? Doesn't look like anyone's there. The lights are on, but I think they have backup power. But most of the lights on the street are on. So maybe my town still does have power. Good to know. But yeah, we had to go back the same night. Because my brother had work the next day, which I had to take him to, I think, or I would have. Cop. Bro, you best be putting your lights on. Thank you for letting me go, but you still need to have your lights on. I don't care if you have a plow or not. You need to get your lights on because it's raining and it's misty out. Oh yeah, no, the middle school is definitely closed. The parking lot's in front of the school, so I'd be able to tell if it was open. I like the places I went to school. Well, I hated middle school, but like I don't know. Right back. Alright, I'm back. Where was I? I don't know. But there's still power in the town, it seems, so that's good. Need to wait for this car and then I'll almost be home. But yeah, no, it was funny. I bought a gift like last minute because I saw something that was funny that related to Godzilla guy. It was a was a Godzilla Chia Pet. I found it at Walmart. It wasn't even in the right section. I was just looking at other stuff. It was just there for some reason. I was like, you know what? That's weirdly perfect. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'll get him this. It's funny. And then when I went to drop it off at his place, I guess none of his family was home or something, or he was asleep when it happened. And he responded like an hour later or something. This was Christmas Eve, mind you. So that didn't really work out great. But because I was already doing like Christmas party stuff on Christmas Eve with my mother and family, and then so basically I had a weird sleep schedule on Christmas Eve. I took naps multiple times, and I took one before the party really started. I took one after, and after the second one, I woke up around 11:30 at night. I didn't go back to sleep because I just didn't really care. And so I saw the message and I checked in with him, and we were basically like, well, I'll just come over tomorrow before I go to my dad's. And he was like, okay, you can do that. Because like he's basically my neighbor. He's just up the road. Like if you're walking at like a walk pace, even with the crappy weather, it's just like 5 minutes. But like realistically, if there weren't any trees in the way, you could see our houses. But so anyways, at about 5 in the morning, he messages me that I won't be able to do that because he stayed up too long, because he was about to go to sleep at around 5 in the morning, and so he wasn't going to be able to get it. And I was like, well, how about I just come up right now and give it to you now, because I'm going to my dad's, which is nowhere near here, like later today, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I do it now. And he was like, okay. So I drove up. It was very funny. It was almost like a drop off for like drugs or something maybe you'd see in a movie. Because it was like 5 in the morning. It was dark outside. There was like a street lamp or two on, because I live close to the center of town. And and then he just walks across the street, because I don't want to go into his driveway because it's not super well plowed. And I once drove into his driveway before and had to back out, and it didn't really work out well. But there's a place just across the street that's plowed really well, because it's not like a house. It's like an apartment. It's like a couple apartment buildings or something, but like small ones, like maybe like 2 different apartments per building, maybe. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. But a friend lived there at some point. I don't know if it still does. Anyway, long story short, I dropped it off at 5 in the morning, which is really funny. Came back home, did more of my own stuff for another 2 hours or so, and then I got the text from my dad, and I was like, oh, so we have to do this now. So I went into my brother's room, woke him up. My mother was already awake, presumably from what I had done before. She just didn't really go back to sleep, but she was kind of just like, chilling in her bed, doing whatever it is she was doing. So then we opened up presents, and then all the present things happened. I went to my dad's, did all the thing, opened the presents there. But a lot of the focus was on the baby, because she's a baby. So, which is good. Anyway, that's about it. I want to go inside. So, thank you for listening to this episode of the Drive Home Podcast. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, you don't have to. And as always, I hope you'll join me next time I drive this podcast home. And have a great next 24 hours. See ya.